A key focus of today's hearing was the question of where Secretary Kennedy is getting his information from. It's a concern centered around a claim that you heard here on The Source last week from the doctor who, until a few days ago, ran the CDC center that issues vaccine recommendations.
An important thing to ask the secretary is, has he been ever briefed by a CDC expert on anything? Specifically measles, COVID-19, flu. I think that people should ask him that in that hearing.
What would the answer
That's
to
number
that
one.
be?
So the answer is no. So no one from my center has ever briefed him on any of those topics.
Really?
So I don't know where he's getting his, really.
And Dr. Dimitri Daskalakis, who you heard from there, is back here on The Source with us tonight. And thank you, sir, for being here, because obviously after you resigned, you came on the air and said that it was brought up in today's hearing. And I want you to listen to what Secretary Kennedy had to say today.
Have you ever been briefed by CDC's career immunization officials to discuss their concerns?
Yes, I have.
What was the answer?
Yes.
You have been briefed by CDC officials, the career immunization officials, to express your...
The senior vaccine safety scientist, for example.
I'm curious who you're listening to, since it's clear you're not listening to qualified experts like Dr. Daskalakis. Can you give the committee the name of the person?
I don't consider Dr. Daskalakis.
Mr. Secretary, the question that I have for you is, can you give the committee a name of who you're getting briefed by?
I'm getting briefed by all the time by CDC.
Just a name.
Well, Dr. William Thompson's one name.
He didn't finish his sentence there, what he was about to say. He says, I don't consider doctor, referencing you, and then obviously the senator cut in. What was your reaction to what you heard today?
I think that I feel like what he was going to say is I don't consider Dr. Daskalakis an expert, and I would just refer him to my record of ending multiple outbreaks, measles, Mpox, H5N1. I really don't know if he's ended any outbreaks. I can, however, say that he's been responsible for some. So that was my reaction. I was like, I don't have to prove my CV to him because I think my record speaks for itself.
Well, and you resigned after the CDC director, Susan Monterez, was ousted. He talked about that today, and he claimed in one exchange that when he asked her if she was trustworthy, he says that she told him, quote, no. And he said that she is lying when she says she was asked to rubber stamp vaccine recommendations from his advisors. Is that true based on what you know?
So, I mean, I can't speak for what happened in those closed rooms, but I can tell you about what happened a couple of days before that alleged interaction with the secretary. So I called Dr. Monterez because I had some questions around an interaction with some of the work group members just to make sure that I was, doing my job, answering to her as the director. And when she picked up the phone, she said, Dimitri, I'm not going to abandon you, but I just need you to know that I've been told that I'm no longer to participate in any vaccine policy, and that she referred me to the chief of staff at CDC, who she was informed is going to be the one who will be sort of navigating that. So I can't speak for what happened in the room, but it sure sounds very similar to what she told me days before resignation, or when the secretary said that she was fired. So I believe Susan. I do not believe the secretary.
Do you believe that when asked if she's trustworthy that she would tell the secretary no?
Well, I mean, I don't know how many people the secretary has managed. I think he's run some large organizations. I feel like that interaction does not seem like one that I would, expect to hear from anybody that I supervised. So I feel like directly asked, are you trustworthy? It would be very strange for someone to say no.
Well, and especially, I mean, he is on the record a month ago saying that she had unimpeachable credentials for this role that he said he handpicked her for. But he was asked about the firings at the CDC overall and just basically the state of the CDC. And this is what he said, how he described it today.
We are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Thank you,
and
Mr.
I need to fire some of those people.
As someone who resigned, I wonder what went through your mind when he said people at the CDC weren't doing their jobs.
I mean, the first thing that went through my mind is no wonder someone came and shot CDC when the leader of the health agency at the country is throwing that kind of disparaging language towards scientists who really work 24/7 to make sure that the health of the American people is the work that they do. So I really just heard that thinking like, this is just consistent and part of the same narrative that we've heard from him for a long time. Caitlin, I wanted to just go back to something really quickly. You played a snippet about the people that he said that he has been briefed by. I just want to be clear that he's not been briefed by anyone from the immunization center. The person that he mentioned does not work at the immunization center. It is not possible that that person briefed him on measles or on flu or on polio or on vaccines, since that individual does not work anywhere in that environment. So again, I don't know where he's getting his information, but I just wanted to highlight that that was, not true. He's
So when
never been briefed by anyone in the immunization group.
The only person he named, besides obviously earlier he had talked about Marty Makary and others that he's getting information from, but he said, I'm being briefed all the time by Dr. William Thompson's one name. And you're saying that person is not an expert in the exact areas that he was asked about in terms of immunizations.
He is not in the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases and is in no way a spokesperson for the National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases content area. So if he's getting information from that individual, I'm not sure how that person could have briefed him on material that they actually have no handle on.
Have you heard from your former colleagues today who were watching the incredibly combative hearing? What they have to say about it?
I mean, yeah, we definitely have been talking with each other. And I think mainly we were just stunned at the number of mistruths that we heard. We heard that David Geyer was not doing research. That's not true. He is in fact doing research. He is looking at the vaccine safety data link. You can talk to my colleague, Dr. Jernigan, who can go into great detail on that. We heard that we briefed him. That is also untrue. We heard that he never told Susan that she shouldn't be involved in making any decisions for vaccine policy. That is also untrue. We heard him evade the answer about how many people died of COVID. I think that he just doesn't want to answer the question because he wants to minimize the impact of vaccine. So we were sitting listening to this going, we can't believe the state of our country that the head of the health agency for the United States is actually standing before Congress, just continually making things up. He did not tell the truth.
So you're saying he lied to Congress?
He lied to Congress.
Wow. Dr. Demetri Daskalakis, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.